bugged.
What's left for Gatorade?
North Country Animal League is the only limited access facility in the state of Vermont, and we are Lamoille County's only shelter for animals. Limited access means that we don't euthanize animals for space. So if we take an animal in, they're here until we adopt them.
I'm looking out at the world from where I sit, I see a version of me looking down, trying to be someone better than me.
It
I got
takes
it all
us
figured out, not a doubt.
an average of 3 weeks to adopt out an animal. So and we figured out cost-wise that's about $750 between food for the time that they're here. Obviously, our adoption fees don't come close to covering us what it costs.
Right.
Because of that, we make up the difference through fundraising.
But as I watch, I see the ground start to crumble and move. I start to realize that I suddenly got something to lose. And though I try to play it cool, I watch the earth slip away beneath me. And as I fall, I'm thinking back on it all, that I was strong and independent and on top of the ball. I never noticed all the frays in the rope I climbed. I never tried to look around until I went blind. And now I see that I was standing up on shaky ground. It was just a matter of time until I fell down. It was just a matter of who, it was just a matter of when. And as I watch, I see myself begin to climb back up again, and it's alright.
Pedal for Paws is our big summer fundraiser. It is a series of bike rides. People can choose a 25-mile, 60-mile, or 100-mile bike ride, and the idea is to register, collect pledges from friends, family, and to go and do the ride, and of course raise money for the shelter.
And I'm okay, 'cause I'm here again with you, and I'm here again today, and I'm alright, and I'm okay, 'cause I'm here again with you, and I'm here again today. I went down to the bottom, there was nothing to see, so I began to slowly climb back to the top of the heap. But then it didn't feel right and it didn't feel true, because the only place for me to be is here with you. I went down to the bottom, there was nothing to see, so I began to slowly climb back to the top of the heap.
Yeah, and I'd like a huge thank you to Seth Beck and the Fiestamovement for a very generous donation to our Pedal for Paws charity event this summer, which is very cool.
I'm looking up from the rubble of the world that I knew. I'm laying broken down and dirty, feeling hurt and confused. I see myself looking down, trying to figure it out. Looks like I'm getting nowhere. I pull myself from the wreckage, wipe the dust from my eyes. As I survey my situation, I begin to realize no matter how hard I try to leave the others behind, I'm not the only one there. Before I took the fall, I wasn't alone, and when the ground gave way beneath me, we all sank like stones. And now I look around and see them laying by my side, and I'm prevented from resisting by my wounded pride. And every time I try to run away, it just doesn't help. No matter how far I run, I'm always stuck with myself. I'm on the bottom looking up, or on the top looking down. The only break I get from my mistakes is when you come around, and it's alright. And I'm okay, 'cause I'm here again with you, and I'm here again today, and I'm alright. And I'm okay, 'cause I'm here again with you, and I'm here again today. I went down to the bottom, there was nothing to see, so I began to slowly climb up to the top of the heap. But then it didn't feel right and it didn't feel true, because the only place for me to be is here with you. I went down to the bottom, there was nothing to see, so I began to slowly climb up to the top of the heap. But then it didn't feel right and it didn't feel true, because the only place for me to be is here with you. When I went to see